All right. Again, welcome everyone. If you can see down at the bottom, I have there wisdom cultivates character, and character in turn cultivates effective leadership. That was something I came up with, CJ Lee. And today's lesson is 30-minute presentation is the Trinity of Sovereign Leadership. And feel free, you can take a screenshot of any of the PowerPoint slides. You can also do that. I'm going to jump on over here to our next screen here. And that's our introduction. And to those that are new, and like I said, hey, feel free if you want to come on the screen, camera, you can come on the screen. If not, hey, we're going to go on and we're going to enjoy today's lesson. And I'm always blocking, for some reason, blocking my screen. Let me get here. Let me get my little thing here to move on down. So all right. All right. For those that are new, I know we got one new person joining us today, and thank you so much. I think you said it. Help me if I don't want to mispronounce your name. Did you say you were from Illinois?
Yeah, that's right.
All right. All right. Well, welcome here. We are in Tennessee here. So thank you so much for joining us. If you want to share a snippet about yourself, you can. And how did you come by the podcast?
Thanks. I'm a writer who met you through backstage.com when I was producing this audiobook that's I'm still promoting Alphabet Play. That then I was tentatively titling it Google Play, and you voiced a role beautifully. And as part of the gambit um, of the project, a lot of the questions that the work so one of the questions that the work asks listeners is how and when they look up information about specific individuals online.
Okay.
And and so I found your Instagram and saw that you were and a post about this
Oh,
um
awesome.
surfaced.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you for the opportunity for letting me voice on your present on your project. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, my pleasure. It's a really beautiful piece overall, and yeah, I mean your acting is really special. So I hope that it like continues to build momentum.
All right, it will. It will. Yes, it will. It will. Again, thank you so much for joining us. And for those that will come back and listen to the replay, my name is Dr. CJ Lee. I am the CEO and founder of Wisdom Leadership Global Academy Corp. And I am thrilled about sharing about leadership. That's my passion. That's my heart. I love talking about leadership because I am a leader, and each one of us on today, and those that will come back and listen to the replay, and we all are leaders. When the first leadership start is leading ourselves. All right. And I am a published author. You see my title of my book, How to Be an Effective Teacher in the Public School System. I did put my Amazon link. I'm not selling, but hey, if you're interested in buying the book or giving it to other teachers, I was told it's just not for teachers, but hey, it is a very powerful book. And I also hold a doctor's degree in education leadership professional practice from Rebecca Nazarene University right here in Nashville, Tennessee. And I always put got a little snippet of our mission statement, but I always drop down to that last sentence. Equipping and empowering the next generation of effective, global, influential, emerging leaders for the marketplace is our assignment. And that is factual. That is true. That is so true. I also put our website down if you get an opportunity to stop by there and visit. And I also put our email address down, and you can always email us at that particular address, email address, and we try our best to get back to you within 24 to 48 hours. All right, before I go to my next slide, I always share my talking points. And I got look about four talking points. They're real quick. I just want to share that. I'm gonna take off my glasses so I can really see good, clear it. All right, we're talking about the Trinity of Sovereign Leadership. And I talked, and my first point is the paradox of wisdom, getting that deep understanding. And as everybody know, that those know and those that will come back, this is not a the spiritual podcast, but everybody, we ought to know that Wisdom Leadership Global Academy, that was given to me by God, and we know wisdom come from God. So I want to let everybody know that we're not trying to, like I said, this is not a spiritual podcast, but I definitely want to let everybody know that. And when we think about the paradox of wisdom, we talk about deep understanding, vision versus blind action. And when we talk about let's look at the concept. True sovereign leadership requires wisdom and constant reactivity. How do we as leaders cultivate the stillness required for genuine wisdom? Does the modern demand for rapid decision making inherently eroding the depth of sovereign judgment? We have to use wisdom in everything we do every day. And we're living in an era obsessed with speed, velocity, and constant reactivity. How do we as leaders, I'm telling you, we got to be careful, we got to be mindful of what's going on in our world today. And then I talked about number two, my second point is the anchor of character. And I'm talking about when our integrity is under pressure. And we're going to look at the concept again. We're going to look at character, serve as the moral compass and structural integrity of our leadership. Wisdom conceptualizes the path, but character determines whether we as leaders will walk it with a personal cost because prohibited. Everything is dealing with the will, walking and talking. You know what I'm saying? Action, you hear all the time that actions speak louder than words. Character is most easily measured not by public declaration during times of stability, but by quiet conscience made when no one is watching us. How is our character when no one is looking? How can institutions design systems that test and preserve character before placing ultimate authority in an individual's hand? That's very interesting. My third point, the engine of will. We all know about that will, execution and resilience. Will represent the raw catalytic energy, the disciplined execution, courage, and stamina required to translate abstract wisdom and ethical character into tangible, real world reality. Point number four, the synergy of the Trinity. You got to hear this real good. These three elements do not exist in isolation. True sovereignty emerges only from the dynamic equilibrium. Wisdom without character is cunning. I'm going to have to say that again. Wisdom without character is cunning. Character without will is impotent. Will without wisdom is unfair. It's just not right. When we evaluate contemporary or historical leaders, which of the three pillars is most frequently missing, and what are the distinct systemic symptoms of that specific deficiency? We got to think about that. Is it the character? Is it the wisdom? Or is it the will? We have to distinguish that. Any questions before I dive into my next slide? All right, we're going to go on. All right. And I got at the top here, sovereign here doesn't mean authoritarian. It refers to self-mastery and internal authority. A leader who possesses wisdom, dealing with the mind, character, dealing with the soul, and effectiveness, we're dealing with the will, exercises a natural, unforced sovereignty over their province, the area that they're leading. We got to be mindful of that. It also describes a leader who is anchored from within, exercising a natural, unforced influence over the domain because we have first conquered ourselves. This state of leadership rests upon a sacred architect, the trinity of sovereign leadership. And we talked about that just a minute ago: the mind, the soul, the will. When these three dimensions are integrated, leadership shift from transactional management to transformative stewardship. It's all about stewardship. Even though leadership is authority, but it's not authoritarian, it's not a dictator. We still got to lead with integrity. We still got to lead with wisdom. And our key leadership nugget for today: true leadership is an attitude that naturally inspires and motivates others. And it comes from internalizing discovery about ourselves. We cannot learn, I put quotation mark, we cannot learn an attitude. If someone learns an attitude, it's called conditioning or mere mental accent, meaning to agree or something or giving official approval. That's not leadership. And that was written by the late Dr. Miles Monroe. Any questions or comments? All right, I'm going to dive on to the next one because that time be really zooming past. Can you see my little owl at the top with the little books? Are y'all able to see that? Okay. Okay, we're on the next one talking about wisdom, the mind, the eye of sovereignty. As we know, wisdom is the cognitive and intuitive foundation of the sovereign leader. It moves far beyond mere intelligence. We get caught up with, oh, because I'm smart, I got money, and I got this. No, that's not leadership. And that's not using wisdom. It's not even about the dollar accumulation or technical expertise. That's good to have that, but it's way beyond that. It's way beyond that. My first bullet point here is discernment over noise. While others react to every shifting and trend and crisis, we as the wise leader, we perceive and find out, okay, what's going on? What is the underlying pattern? What's really happening? Wise leader we can separate the urgent from the important. Recognize the signal through the static. A wise leader, because you got to think before you act. You got to think, okay, I need wisdom. I need a strategy, so we have to use wisdom. Then my next bullet talking about the long range vision. Wisdom is inherently future oriented. It understands downstream consequences, balancing short term realities with generational impact. A wise leader always think about the impact that they can have on individuals, like everybody that's up under their tutelage. That we are responsible for everybody up under all frontline employees, even our staff, or even the peers, our colleagues. We are responsible for that generational impact in the future. And then I got down here, I always mispronounce it, but I hope I pronounce it right. Epistemic means relating to knowledge, knowing, or how we understand things. It all still deals with humility. True mental sovereignty requires knowing the limits of one's own understanding. Don't nobody know us. We know God knows, but ourselves, don't nobody know us like we know ourselves. That's when we have to daily check our character. We have to daily. We're not perfect. We're not perfect at all. If anybody say, "Oh, I'm perfect," no, that's not true. None of us are perfect. Every day I'm dusting off. I'm checking my attitude. I'm doing a hard collogram on myself, find out what's going on, why my attitude is not right. You can, if you really check your character daily, it'll tell you about yourself. I know mine does. A wise leader actively seeks out dissenting viewpoints, uncovers blind spots, and remain teachable. I underlined that. I highlighted that. I don't care if you've been in leadership 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. We still have to remain teachable. I'm telling you, you have to remain teachable. If you feel like, oh, I know this, I don't need nobody to tell. You know, I would love to have thousands of leaders to hop on every day. But so many leaders feel today, can't nobody teach me. Look, I graduated, I got a doctor's degree, but every day I'm still learning. I'm still learning. I went to John Maxwell, became a John Maxwell coach teacher. That was through leadership, that was through teaching, that was through learning. So I'm still teachable. I'm still teachable. And I will always be teachable until it's time for me to reach the other side. That's 199 years. And then I got here, knowledge tells us what can be done. Wisdom tells us what should be done. And that's what we should focus on. Knowledge tells us what can be done, our expertise, our degrees, and all of what the professor and everything the facilitator said. But wisdom tells us what should be done. And a lot of time when wisdom tells us what should be done, we're like, we look for popularity. So, you know, the way the wisdom give it to us, that ain't popular, but it is the right way. It's the safest way. It's the only way. Any questions? Any comments?
No, I just think for as where you said being teachable. I think when you get to the point of feel like you if you feel like you're not if you're not teachable, that means you're no longer learning. And every day the world, everyday life presents us honestly with something new,
Yes.
something that we've never encountered before. And so getting to a place of being no longer being teachable, you will eventually become stagnant and eventually become ineffective because you're no longer open to learning the new. You're no longer evolving, and
That's right.
every day our world is evolving, our technology is evolving. Look at what AI is doing in the world, and how so many are shifting so much to and relying on technology versus wisdom, versus our own creativity. Yes,
Right.
AI is good and things of that nature, and I like it and I use it for specific things, but it's not something that I'm totally reliant on. Wisdom is going to
Right.
always be there, even when technology goes down, because see, once technology goes down, AI goes down as well. So then what? So you have to be open, you have to remain teachable, because I literally, like, what good are you?
That's right. And that's the reason, like I said, as a former substitute teacher, I remember when I got in my first class, I'm like, okay, you all, excuse me, where the books at? And everybody, all the students started laughing at me. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not that old. Don't look at the gray hair. That's wisdom. But they like, we don't have no books. I said, what do y'all use? Our phones, a computer. And I'm old school. I'm old school. I'm like, oh my God, our young people, but what, like you just stated, what happened when technology just go black?
Mhm.
We still need those books. We
Oh.
still need those books. And I was talking about it last week. I mentioned about the 11 character architects. And I talked to today's architect core, the 11 core traits. I want to say this about collaboration,
Mhm.
teamwork. We
Mhm.
actively build relationships, value diverse viewpoints, and share credit rather than trying to win alone.
Mhm.
if,
Mhm.
if if leaders around the world, from the president all the way down to our local government, if they be honest, you cannot lead without a team. You need a team,
Mhm.
because you're gonna get tired and you're gonna get wore out. You need a team. All right. Thank you for that, TL. Appreciate that. Okay. Let me move my little screen back down again because I was covering my words up here. Can y'all see my little man down at the end, the bottom?
Yes.
Okay. And all right, this is my next point is character, the soul, the anchor of sovereignty. And we look at here, they said character is the moral and spiritual core of the leader. And that is so true. It is who we are in the dark when as I stated earlier, when no one is watching us. When
Mhm.
no one is watching us. When we know when our attitudes are bad. We know that.
Mhm.
Don't nobody need to tell us that. I know when I got an attitude. I know. And I quickly check myself because I don't want that to nobody to pick that up. And it is the substance that gives our word weight and credibility. Our character does matter. And I got my first TL. Do you mind taking that first bullet reading that?
Sure. And I guess people don't realize too, and just add in there before even reading the bullet, it's the first thing people
Mhm.
encounter.
Yes,
It's the first
yes,
thing
it
that
is.
people encounter when you meet somebody. It's the first thing you
Right,
recognize.
right.
It's the first thing you see is their character, their
That's right.
attitude, the things they say, sums up, okay, what type of person you are, sums up, your character. It sums up your behavior. That's the thing. It's literally the first thing that's encountered. It's not your works, it's not your deeds and what you've done in the community, it's who you are. You know what I'm saying? Without even knowing
That's right.
you,
That's
before I even meet you, if I stumble upon you, I'm looking at the outer exterior. I'm looking at your behavior. I'm listening at what you're saying. I'm gleaning and learning. Like,
right.
okay, oh, this is your character. This is how you are.
Right.
Okay, so okay, but okay, I'll read this first
Thank
bullet
you.
up here. Incorporeal incorruptibility, that's a word, a mouthful, and integrity. Character means alignment between values, words, and actions. A sovereign leader cannot be easily bought, flattered, or bullied because their internal compass is fixed on immutable principles rather than external approval.
That's a wise leader. That's a wise leader. I look. I don't want to miss your name, or would you like
It's
to read
few
the
and
next
far in
bullet?
between.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead. Courage under fire. Character provides the backbone required to make hard decisions, delivering difficult truths and stand alone when necessary. It transforms fear from a paralyzing force into an informant. That
Mm,
is so true. And the next bullet said authentic empathy, which we don't really see a lot of that in leadership anymore.
mm,
True soul level strength is never brittle. It is spacious enough to hold compassion. We as leaders, it don't show you because if you show your team, those up under your tutelage, that you're weak. No, it's okay. It's being firm. It's really showing that you're a person, you're human, that you
mhm,
have a heart, that you care. That's what compassion is. And a team, when the employees really know that their leaders care, they're excited about coming to work.
mhm,
As a sovereign leader, we care deeply for the people we serve. And I do. I care deeply for the people I serve. Recognizing that true authority exists to elevate others, not to exploit them. Any questions? All right. Okay, my next bullet here. I hope you see my little man down there. Effectiveness. We talking about the will, the hand of sovereignty. Wisdom conceptualized and character provides the moral framework, but effectiveness bridges the gap between vision and reality.
mm,
Without will, great ideas and noble intentions die in the realm of theory. And like I said, I don't want to mispronounce your name, but you know how it is when you're working on your films, or you're working on a podcast, or you got to have great ideas. You got to have great
mhm,
ideas. And my first bullet said discipline execution. Willpower manifests as consistency. The sovereign leader possesses the grit to turn grand strategies into daily, unglamorous execution. It's not about trying to be important. Look, we want everything done decent and in order. We want everything we do to be successful, but we need to be effective to do that. Bullet number two said agency and accountability. That what we really like it is that accountability in the world today. Nobody wants to be accountable. An
mhm,
effective leader takes absolute ownership of outcomes.
mhm,
We do not blame circumstances, markets, or subordinates. We should view every setback as feedback and a test of resolve. I don't we can't blame anybody. I'm the leader. I'm the leader. Everything starts, as Dr. John Maxwell said, everything rises and falls on leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Then my third bullet says energy stewardship. Sovereign will is not about brute force or burnout. It is about leverage. We, as effective leaders, direct our finite energy and resources toward high leverage points to create maximum sustainable momentum. That's what it's all about. That's what it's
Mm-hmm.
all about. All right, I think we're right here at the end. If I'm not mistaken, we at the close right here. I
Mm-hmm.
hope I wasn't going too fast because y'all know me. I talk kind of fast. So I be trying my best not to talk too fast. All right, and like I said, the trinity of sovereign leadership. We all as leaders need to evaluate ourselves daily. At the end of the day, what did I do that was productive? Did I change anybody's life? Did I encourage anybody?
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about as we close the unforced authority. Tia, would you take that first one?
Um, when a leader possesses wisdom, their decisions are sound. When they possess character, their intentions are trusted. When they possess effectiveness, their goals are realized. That's good. That's
All right.
good.
Our visitor, would you like to take the next one?
Yes. An
Okay.
imbalance within this trinity creates unpredictable dysfunction.
Oh, that is so true, you all. That is so. That's reason I try to stay balanced every day. And then the
Mm-hmm.
third bullet said, wisdom plus character without will yields the ineffective thinker, brilliant and ethical, but nothing ever changes. That's kind of scary. All
Mm-hmm.
right. And then my next bullet said, wisdom plus will without character yields the dangerous, deceitful, strategic, and competent, but ultimately destructive and unforgiving.
Mm.
So that no leader should want to be you in that bullet. Then the
Right.
next bullet talk about character plus will without wisdom yields the zillions fanatic. That's what they talk about. Zillions fanatic, well intentioned and hardworking, but profoundly misguided though.
Mm.
True, my last bullet says true sovereignty requires a seamless integration of all three. When mind, soul, and will operate in harmony, we as leader no longer needs whew, to demand respect. We don't have to. We don't have to micromanage or assert control. We don't have to do that. Our authority, true, authentic authority, accountability, all of that, our character, the wisdom, the mind, effectiveness, our authority become natural, radiant, and unforced, a true reflection of internal mastery, inspiring external excellence.
Mm.
That's what I strive for daily. Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Not perfect, but I strive for it every day. All right. At the end, y'all see my board there.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for joining. I look forward to you joining me every Friday at 12 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time for a 30 minutes recharge our leadership battery. I'm your host, Dr. CJ Lee. And again, I notated our website there. Take a visit and our email address. You can always email us. We'll try to respond back within 24 to 48 hours. Any last comments? I thank you both for joining me today. If anybody want to say
Yes.
anything, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, just a great session. Definitely enjoyed. Again, learning about cultivating the will to lead and what it truly takes. It's understanding leadership is beyond a title. It's far more. It's not even about us. It's definitely about making it positive, effective impact in the lives of many others. What good is it being a leader and you're not making a positive difference?
Ooh, that's it. That's it. That's awesome. Well, what about our producer from Illinois? Any comments?
No, thank you. This was really interesting. I'm sometimes like less um open to kind of Christian discourse or
Yeah.
Christian themed content. It's
Hmm.
it's 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 like a little bit of a bias, but
Okay.
I saw that this was like very much like embedding it within a secular context or
Hmm.
frame. So I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, again, thank you so much for joining, TL. Thank you so much for joining. I know we're about to get ready to hit the road to go out of town, but I thank you all so much for joining. I want you to enjoy the rest of your day and have a safe, blessed weekend. Until next Friday on Zoom, be blessed. Thank
Thank
you
you.
all.
Bye bye.
Thank you.